Pheasant Island lies in the Bidassoa River, exactly halfway between France on one side and Spain on the other. The border runs right through the middle of the island. So are the people who live on Pheasant Island French or Spanish? Well, trick question, because nobody lives on Pheasant Island. There aren't even pheasants on Pheasant Island. Still, the question of who it belongs to stands, so the two countries decided to take turns. It belongs to France for half the year and Spain for the other half. In geographical parlance, this is called a condominium, which is distinct from an enclave, which is different, but also sometimes the same as an exclave. On today's show, we are sorting out all that nonsense.
We choose to go to the moon.
Right now, you like me.
Practice? We're talking about practice, man.
Welcome to 5-Minute Trivia, where we're making the world smarter 5 minutes at a time. I'm your host, R.M. Zuberi. Imagine a world without borders. Or, even better, a world with borders that make no sense. Well, you don't have to imagine that second one, because that is the world we live in right now. From places that belong to everyone, and therefore no one, to parts of countries that exist inside other countries, our world pretty much has it all. Let's start with condominiums. You might be familiar with the real estate term, in which housing units are individually owned and the common areas are collectively owned by all those individuals. Well, the same idea applies to certain pieces of land, like Pheasant Island, but that place is tiny and completely uninhabited. The continent of Antarctica is also a condominium, governed by 29 of the 58 state parties to the Antarctic Treaty. Various countries have made territorial claims to the continent, most notoriously Norway, but those claims are generally not recognized. Helpful hint for bar trivia: if you're ever asked where two geographically distinct nations share a border, like Norway and Japan, the answer is probably Antarctica. The tiny country of Andorra, also between Spain and France, was once considered a condominium between those two countries, but is now more commonly classified as a sovereign co-principality. Its 80,000 people are ruled jointly by French and Spanish co-princes. This is a part-time job for both of them because the French prince is also the president of France, and the Spanish prince is the Bishop of Urgell in Catalonia. A national enclave is a country that is entirely surrounded by another country. There are 3 enclave countries in the world: San Marino, Vatican City, and Lesotho. The first 2 are completely surrounded by Italy, and Lesotho is enclaved by South Africa. Then there are countless subnational enclaves, where some disconnected part of a country is surrounded by another country. Because they're outside the main country, they're not just enclaves, they're also exclaves. Why would one country host part of another country like some alien-level parasite? In the case of subnational enclaves, sometimes the reason is war. Thanks to a war in 1992, a lot of Armenia is now in Azerbaijan, and a lot of Azerbaijan is in Armenia. In Europe, some of the more complex arrangements happened because things just predated the governments that now control them. Belgium's border with the Netherlands is notoriously complicated by medieval treaties and land swaps between lords and dukes of kingdoms that no longer exist. The countries that later came along had to draw their borders around them. This means that there are more than 24 Belgian enclaves inside Dutch territory, basically just a bunch of mini Belgiums sitting in the Netherlands. In our mini-series on World War I, we mentioned the German army rampaging through Belgium on the way to France. Germany was not able to cross into the Netherlands, so these Belgian enclaves became an important safe haven for Belgian refugees. But such close proximity to another country can create odd situations where the difference between one country and the other can sometimes come down to what side of the street you're walking on. For example, there's a restaurant in the enclave of Barl-Hertog, where the border between Belgium and the Netherlands runs right through the restaurant. The Belgium side actually has different hours than the Dutch side, so customers have to move tables from the Dutch side to the Belgian side at Dutch closing time. During the COVID pandemic, Belgium had more restrictive social distancing laws than the Netherlands, meaning that a Belgian citizen who was living a few feet away from an open Dutch bar couldn't go without breaking the law. If that wasn't complicated enough, there are even enclaves within the same country. These are generally incorporated towns that are located entirely within other towns or cities. There are way too many of these to list, but one American example is Beverly Hills and West Hollywood, which together form a municipal enclave that is entirely surrounded by the city of Los Angeles. There are also exclaves that are not enclaves. Kaliningrad Oblast is part of Russia and near Russia, but no longer attached to Russia ever since Lithuania left the Soviet Union in 1990. It's surrounded by Poland to the south and Lithuania to the north and east. The world is complicated, and it's not getting any simpler. By next year, Norway might conquer its Japanese neighbors in Antarctica, and Beverly Hills could march to the sea right through West LA. So we might be back here soon with a new set of countries inside countries and cities inside cities. Until then, we'll see you next time on 5 Minute Trivia. Thanks for listening.